Hello and welcome to your Canvas and Wiley Plus introduction video. So in this video I'm just going to show you briefly how to use Canvas and how to access Wiley Plus, okay? And so with Wiley Plus, that's where you'll be doing your quizzes. So when you look on Canvas, this is what you'll come in, and you can see I won't be using the discussions. I will be using the grades to push your grades for the midterm and other grades that you have in the class. I don't use the syllabus. I don't use the quizzes in Wiley Plus. On Canvas. I will use Wiley Plus for your quizzes. So where I put everything is under modules. Okay? Don't go to files. Files has a whole bunch of old stuff. Go to modules. Always go to modules for the most recent files for the class. So when you click on modules, come over here, and you can see here's the syllabus, here's the schedule, here's the Wiley Plus instructions. So if I go ahead and click on the Wiley Plus instructions, let me just show you that really quick. You can go ahead and open up this file, and so now I'll go ahead and download it right over here. Then I can click on this link right here, and it takes me to Wiley Plus, and I can look back over here, and it says, here's my course ID right there. I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to paste it. I have to kind of cross it out, that whole thing right there like this. And then what you would do is just go ahead and you would log in just like that. And this is where when you need to do your quizzes, you'll click under assignment right over here. And then your quizzes, and they don't show up right now because all the quizzes are set to start May 18th, but after, May 17th. After May 17th, you will see all the quizzes show up here, and all the quizzes, the due dates are listed in the course schedule that's posted up on Canvas, okay? But that's how you go ahead and access Wiley Plus, and that's something that the access code, you're going to have to register with Wiley Plus, and that's where you're going to pay for Wiley Plus, okay? Or you could also buy it from the bookstore, and they'll give you a code to make sure that you paid for Wiley Plus. But what I just showed you right there with looking at this is the course ID for my class, and so you'll have to make sure you register for this class in Wiley Plus, okay? So let me close out of that, and I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to go to modules again. And so, let me go ahead. You have the syllabus, you have the schedule. I can let you go ahead and look at those. Let me show you the lecture videos right over here. So if I click on this file, and I go ahead and open up the lecture videos, you can see these are all the links to all the lecture videos. Right? So, for example, if I wanted to see the we'll look at break-even analysis in Excel. All you need to do is click on this hyperlink, right? Or just get rid of that. And it's because I did not enable editing. That's why that happened, okay? So I can click on the hyperlink, and it takes me to that lecture video right over here, which is in YouTube. And so you can go ahead and see, and then you just hit the play button,
welcome to the lecture
and then you
video
have your lecture video. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and close out of that again. And I'm going to close out of that file, the lecture videos. I'm going to come back over here to modules. Again, everything that's most recent is on modules. Let me just bring up the course schedule really quickly. I think the course syllabus is pretty self-explanatory. And of course, we'll go over that on the first conference session that we have. Let me go ahead and go over the schedule right over here. So this is our course schedule. And so what you can see is enable editing. I'm clicking around a little bit. It says the schedule is tentative, subject to change on verbally or in writing. All homework assignments will be submitted to me via email by 5 p.m. on the date listed. So for example here, it says Chapter 1 quiz and GMBALVA homework. This means that GMBALVA homework is due to me via email at dhenry3 .umw.edu by 5 p.m. Eastern Time on 5/23/2019. Okay, and you also need to complete the quiz by 5:23 by 11:45 p.m. So quizzes will be available here, and all those quizzes, as I mentioned, are on Wiley Plus. And so you can see this course schedule is kind of going over all the everything that you should be doing on a weekly basis. So in this first week, you need to watch the Chapter 1 lecture videos. Start watching the Chapter 2 because there's a lot of Chapter 2 lecture videos. Complete the Chapter 1 quiz and send me your homework via email by 5:23. And then also you do have a group case analysis, and you need to send me the names of your group members by 5:25. And then you can see the second week, you'll finish watching Chapter 2 and you do your Chapter 3 lecture videos, and go ahead and watch the Excel videos 1 and 2 that are posted up on the lecture. And so, again, these lecture videos, if I say right over here, that's in that lecture videos document that I just showed you, okay? It says right over here, Excel book homework, so you do have an Excel textbook, and so that's what I'm referencing right over here. It's your Excel textbook. And so I kind of give you the instructions on how to submit your Excel book homework to me. Submit a spreadsheet to me. Obviously, you need to do it in a spreadsheet with the answers to those questions by email 527. These questions, 5/27/2019, and that, of course, would be by 5 p.m. Okay. I'm going to close out of this, and now I'm going to come back over to modules. And if I just go ahead and scroll down in modules, we have another thing right over here. So let me just, this is your group presentation document, so I do have another lecture video that covers your group presentations. And right over here, I'll have a debits and credits review. And so this is the actual file that you can print off. And then this is the actual video lecture. So, and you can find those same video lectures up in the video lectures document right here as well. But those lecture videos, the way it works is when you start opening up the lecture videos, you'll see me with some notes. For example, if you look at the Chapter 1 lecture videos, you'll see that I'm completing these Chapter 1 notes right over here. And if you look at the Chapter 2 lecture video, I'm sorry, it's this Chapter 1 notes right here. If you look at the Chapter 2 lecture video, if I scroll down, you'll see I'm completing these Chapter 2 notes. So if you were to open up this file, for example, go ahead and download this. And it's right here. This is the lecture video. The lecture video covers me going over all these notes. So what you want to do is to go ahead and print off all those notes, chapter by chapter, and then watch the lecture videos while it helps you to complete the notes. And so that's the way I'm running the class. And so you can see each chapter has its own set of lecture videos. And then sometimes, and right over here, this is Chapter 3, this is Chapter 2. These are the homework solutions to all the exercises and problems at the end of each chapter. And of course, you'll be using Wiley Plus to access your textbook. Wiley Plus will be used to access your textbook. Okay, in Chapters 2 and 3, these are the solutions, but this is the notes right over here. And then these are solutions to additional problems in the notes. And then same thing right over here. This is just some additional problems that I've provided solutions for. And then here's the Chapter 4 solutions, and then these are the Chapter 4 notes. One other thing I just want to make sure we talk about, the Excel videos reference these right over here. So you'll see me going over some of these in the Excel review video. So for example, the first video covers if-then functions and absolute cell references, if-then functions, and VLOOKUPs, which is all this. I have another video that covers pivot tables, and that's this right over here. I have another video that covers regression and break even and cost volume profit analysis, and that's right all in here. Okay, so as we continue down in modules, you'll see that we have more chapters right over here, Chapter 5, and here's a link to the video, but it's also in, all the videos are also listed up here, and your MBA lecture videos as well. So some of the chapters I've listed the video twice. Okay. As we scroll down, here's your Chapter 5 notes, and then these are the solutions to the Chapter 5 exercises and problems at the end of each chapter. Chapter 6, extra problems right over here, the solutions, and then your notes right there. Chapter 7, some extra problems, and then a good article on talking about the theory of constraints in healthcare. And then Chapter 7 notes right over here, exercise solutions and problems. Chapter 8, exercise solutions and problems. Additional problems from the notes right over here. Chapter 8 notes. And then Chapter 10, some additional problems, solutions. And then Chapter 10 notes. And then additional problems, solutions, Chapter 11 notes, and then solutions, and then Chapter 12 notes. And then, well, of course, I'll do at the midterm and then the final exam study materials, which you'll see here is a practice test. You'll see the answers to the practice test. You'll see a final and midterm study guide, and then you'll also see a final and midterm exam distribution. And in that exam distribution, I show you, for example, which questions the midterm and the final exam, what chapters those questions are coming from. So are they predominantly from Chapter 6? Are they predominantly from Chapter 1? Whatever. Okay, so that's covered in these two modules right over here. This right over here, this is your individual Excel case, and I do have another lecture video that covers that. And then finally, we jump down to our GM-Volvo solution. So I went ahead and I listed all the solutions here again, as I did behind each chapter, so that's listed twice, just to make sure it's accessible for you. These are the files that you will need to complete your Excel book homework, okay? And then these are the files for the solutions for your Excel book homework. So I went ahead and provided you the solutions as well. All right, so now what I want to do briefly is just talk about Canvas a little bit more. I said I won't be as I mentioned, I won't be using assignments. I will be using announcements quite a bit, so I'll post a lot of announcements on due dates or anything like that. I won't be using assignments. I won't be using discussions. I will use grades, and people just shows me everybody in the class. Files, don't go there. That's old stuff. I'll always go to modules. Syllabus and quizzes I won't use. I will use Wiley Plus for the quizzes. We will use conferences, okay? So conferences is what we'll be doing on a weekly basis. So what you'll see is a link will show up that you'll click on, and then you'll join that conference, okay? And so here, this is a synchronous conference, and so everybody can join, and then you can ask questions. You can do it over chat, or you can ask a question to the whole class, and then you can go ahead and I can respond to the whole class. The first conference that we'll have will be at the beginning of the semester, probably on the 21st or so of May, but I will send you an email confirming that date. And in that conference, that will be a required conference. Everybody will have to come. It'll probably be at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And in that first conference, I'll go over some of this will be a little bit of a repeat. I'll go over the syllabus, the schedule, kind of the course outline and everything like that. The first conferences are going to be mandatory. The subsequent conferences, and these conferences will be done on a weekly basis. The subsequent conference after the first mandatory conference will be optional. And so that'll be a time for you to ask me questions and ask other people in the class questions, if other people want to chime in, on homework problems or problems about the test or problems about the notes or any other issues you might be having in the class, okay? So the first conference will be required, and what you'll see is a little link here, and I'll post it under announcements as well, that says you need to click on this link to join the conference, and you might even make the most sense to have a pair of headphones, so sometimes that just kind of drowns out some of the background noise and makes it easier for me to hear and for everybody else to hear as well. I'll be using headphones, it's not required, but you can hear me talking and you can hear other people talk, and we can also chat as well, okay? Again, so the first conference will be mandatory. The date will probably be right around when the class starts, probably around May 21st or something like that. I will send out an email about the exact date, and then further conferences after that will be optional, and there'll be a time for you to ask questions, okay? That concludes our Canvas introductory lecture video, and also I showed you how to access Wiley Plus, and again, you will be using Wiley Plus for quizzes and for your textbook. Homework assignments will be emailed to me. Thank you so much.